Think of sprawling cotton fields, bodies toiling under a merciless sun. That's the image of slavery burned into our minds. But what if I told you that same system of exploitation, repackaged and hidden in plain sight, still exists today? It's not on plantations anymore. It's in the gleaming towers of Wall Street, the sweatshops churning out cheap clothes, and the prisons overflowing with black and brown bodies. The players have changed, the methods are more subtle, but the goal remains the same: profit off the backs of black labor. This isn't about guilt, it's about accountability. It's about recognizing how yesterday's chains have morphed into today's economic injustices. It's about understanding that our liberation is bound together, and we can't be truly free until we dismantle these systems of exploitation. This is the story of how slavery's legacy continues to cast a long shadow, woven into the very fabric of American capitalism. Let's talk about Wall Street, the supposed symbol of American prosperity. Did you know that many of these financial giants built their empires on the backs of enslaved Africans? Take J.P. Morgan Chase, for example. Before it was a banking behemoth, it was a company insuring slave owners against the loss of their human property. They treated black people as commodities, their lives reduced to lines in a ledger. And then there's Aetna, the insurance giant. They profited by selling policies to slave owners, literally putting a price on black suffering. The blood money they accumulated then fueled their growth into the corporate titans we know today. These aren't just historical footnotes, they're the foundation upon which these companies were built. This history isn't confined to dusty archives, it echoes in the economic disparities we see today. The legacy of exploitation isn't just financial, it's deeply embedded in our globalized world. Take the fast fashion industry. We crave cheap clothes, but who pays the real price? Often, it's black and brown workers in developing countries, toiling in dangerous conditions for poverty wages. They are denied fair compensation, their labor undervalued, their humanity disregarded in the name of profit margins. And let's not forget the prison industrial complex, a system designed to disproportionately incarcerate black and brown people, often for minor offenses. These prisoners are then forced to work for little or no pay, generating profits for corporations and enriching private prisons. This isn't just about cheap labor, it's about the dehumanization and control of black and brown bodies for economic gain. It's a modern-day extension of the same exploitative practices that fueled slavery. The good news is, resistance is growing. People are waking up to the reality that true justice requires more than just acknowledging past wrongs, it demands repair. The movement for reparations has gained momentum, demanding that corporations and governments acknowledge and compensate for the harm inflicted through centuries of exploitation. This isn't about handouts, it's about righting historical wrongs and creating a more equitable future. From student activists to community organizers, people are demanding accountability and pushing for policies that address the systemic issues at the root of this exploitation. Ethical alternatives, supporting black-owned businesses. We can't dismantle these systems overnight, but we can make conscious choices that support economic justice. One powerful way is by supporting black-owned businesses. By choosing to spend our money with companies that prioritize fair wages, ethical sourcing, and community investment, we chip away at the systems that perpetuate exploitation. Every dollar we spend is a vote for the kind of world we want to live in. Let's use our economic power to uplift black communities and create a more just and equitable marketplace. Remember that fast fashion addiction we talked about? It's time to break up with those brands that exploit workers. Do your research, demand transparency, and choose quality over quantity. And when we hear about corporations profiting from prison labor, we can't stay silent. Support organizations fighting for criminal justice reform and advocate for policies that end the exploitation of incarcerated individuals. Our choices as consumers have power. Let's use that power to disrupt the systems that perpetuate exploitation and create a more just and equitable world. This isn't just about individual choices, it's about collective action. We need to educate ourselves and others about the insidious ways exploitation continues today. Talk to your friends and family, share this information on social media, support organizations working to dismantle these systems, Our voices have power, and together we can amplify the call for justice and create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Imagine a world where black labor is valued, not exploited. A world where the legacy of slavery doesn't cast a shadow on our economic systems. This isn't a pipe dream, it's a future we can build together. It starts by acknowledging the problem, educating ourselves and others, and taking action to dismantle these systems of oppression. Let's work towards a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, regardless of the color of their skin. From the cotton fields to Wall Street, the exploitation of black labor is a stain on this country's soul. But it doesn't have to be this way. We have the power to break these chains, to rewrite the narrative, and create a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. It starts with each and every one of us. Educate yourself, make conscious choices, and raise your voice for justice. Together we can build a better future, free from the shackles of exploitation. At Age Experience. Explore, engage, elevate.